got to start reading, okay? So today I'm going to read for about 15 minutes. If you have to leave at 10:30, that's okay. I will always post our meetings on Google Classroom by probably noon. All right. So you guys kind of caught us all up. The rats escaped, and they found a place called the Boniface Estate, and that's right where we stopped reading. All right. So I'm going to start reading the paragraph that we already read. Okay. During the next few weeks, we lived as we could. We had, in a way, to learn all over again how to get along. For although the world outside the laboratory was the same, we ourselves were different. We were, a couple of times, reduced to eating from dumps and garbage cans. But knowing how to read, we quickly learned to recognize signs on buildings. Groceries, supermarket, meats and vegetables, for instance, let us know that there was food inside for the taking. And once inside a supermarket at night, they always leave a few lights on. We could even read the signs on the wall directing us to Section 8 for dairy products, cheese, Section 3 for baked goods, and so on. In the country, there were barns and silos stocked with grain and corn and chicken houses full of eggs. Occasionally, we came upon other rats, and a few times we talked with them, but not for long. Because after just a few words, they would begin to look at us strangely and edge away. Somehow they could tell that we were different. I think we even looked different. Either the diet or the injections at NIMH had made us bigger and stronger than other rats. And all the strange rats we saw looked to us surprisingly weak and puny. What does puny mean? You guys know puny? Kevin?
Like small or tiny.
Yeah, like you don't have a whole lot of muscle going on. All right, so they're all big, strong rats. They're on steroids that makes you kind of build muscle. So everybody else looks kind of scrawny. So we were set apart from even our own kind. It was while we were in the country that we had our first important stroke of luck. We had just about decided, after nearly 4 months of freedom and constant roving, to find a place to settle down, if not permanently, at least for the winter. We thought that it should be in the country, but not too far from a town, so that we would still have access to grocery stores as well as barns and gardens. It was about this time, too, that I began to wonder and worry somewhat about the fact that whatever we ate, whatever we needed, must always be stolen.
Yes, it's the same, but the opposite.
All right.
The story reminds me of Ratatouille, kind of.
Yeah.
Because, like, you watched it a few weeks ago.
Rats had always lived that way, and yet, why? I talked to some of the others about this. It was the beginning of a discontent and an idea that kept growing, although slowly. The season was autumn. We were walking one evening down a winding country road. We never walked really on the road, but along the edge, so that we could vanish into the bushes or a ditch if anyone came along. You can imagine that 20 rats and 2 mice traveling in procession would cause some comment, and we did not want that. As we walked, we reached a very high fence of wrought iron, the kind that looks like a row of black iron spears fastened together with pointed tops, an expensive fence, surrounding a large estate with a big, expensive-looking house in the middle, and well-kept grounds and gardens. We walked along past this fence until we reached a gate. "There's nobody living in there," said Justin. "How do you know?" "The gate's padlocked, and look, dead weeds standing outside of it, not even bent. Nobody's driven in there for a while." The house had a quiet, deserted look. There was a mailbox in front, hanging open, empty. "I wonder if we could get in," Jenner said. "Why should we?" "It's a big place. It would have a big pantry, big cupboard, big freezer. If it's as empty as it looks." We turned into the grounds, moving cautiously, and from beneath some bushes, we watched the windows. As dusk fell, lights came on in several of them, both upstairs and down. Jenner said, "That's supposed to make us think there's someone there." All right, does anyone know what he's talking about right there? What's he mean? It's the lights are supposed to make us think someone's there. Hayden?
It makes like them some of them probably think that like people are in the store like working and stuff.
Okay. Have you all heard of like a light timer where you can set your lights on a timer so they turn on and off? So sometimes, like if you go on a vacation and you're going to be gone for a while and you don't want people to know that no one's home, you can set your lights on a timer. So it's kind of like an automatic circuit with a switch. So like, let's say at 8 o'clock, once it's dark out, it'll turn your lights on. And then in the morning, it'll turn them off. So it just helps it look like someone's home. Hudson?
I actually have that in my backyard. It's like a light sensor.
Yeah.
Like you twist it to like till it's done, and then it'll like sense till it's like done, and it'll go off automatically. And
Yep.
like you can switch it to other settings.
Yeah, good. That's kind of similar to that. Angie?
I think it reminded them of people because when they got caught, there were lights flashing and stuff.
That's true. Good connection, Angie. I hadn't even thought of that. All right, so let's read on.
Thank you.
So they want us to think someone's living there. Yes, said Justin, but there isn't. I could see only one of the lamps when it came on. There was nobody near it, and they all came on at the same time. Automatic switches to keep the burglars away. Well, they're not keeping me away, said Justin. He ran to the house, climbed up to one of the windowsills, and looked in. He tried another, then he came back. Nobody, he said. So we went in. We found a small window in the back with a cracked pane, knocked out one corner of the glass, and climbed through. At first, we planned just to look for food. We found it too, enough to last us for a year or more. As Jenna had predicted, there was a big freezer, well stocked. Bread, meat, vegetables, everything. And a whole room full of shelves covered with canned food. The cans baffled us at first, as they had in the grocery stores. We could read what was in them, but we couldn't get it out. Then Arthur found a machine on the kitchen counter. He read the instructions on the side of it. Slide can under cutter and press switch. We tried it. The can turned slowly around in the machine, and when we pulled it out, the top had been cut free. I'll always remember what was in that first can. Clam chowder, delicious. After we had eaten, we wandered around the house. It was a rich man's mansion with beautiful furniture and fine rugs and carpeting on the floor. There was a crystal chandelier in the dining room and a big stone fireplace in the living room. But the greatest treasure of all for us was in the study. This was a large rectangular room with walnut paneling, a walnut desk, leather chairs, and walls lined to the ceiling with books. Thousands of books about every subject you could think of. There were shelves of paperbacks. There were encyclopedias, histories, novels, philosophies, and textbooks of physics, chemistry, electrical engineering, and others, more than I can name. Luckily, there was even one of those small ladders on wheels they use in some libraries to get to the top shelves. Well, we fell on those books with even more appetite than on the food, and in the end, we moved into the house and stayed all winter. We could do that, it turned out, without much fear of discovery. We learned that from some newspaper cuttings I'd found on the desk in the study. They were about a wedding. Most of them showed pictures of a newly married couple leaving a house to begin their honeymoon. The groom was a Mr. Gordon Boniface, heir to the gold Stetson fortune. And the house they were leaving was the house we were in. According to the clippings, they were going on a trip all the way around the world. According to the clippings, they were going on a trip all the way around the world. They were coming back to the Boniface estate in May. Until then, it was our estate. All right, I don't have time to chat about it, but raise your hand if you would want to stay in the Boniface estate till spring. I know I would. Some huge mansion with everything you could want. Would any of you be scared of getting caught? Raise your hand if you'd be scared of getting caught. I'm a little scared of getting caught. But
And
rather
what?
than me, they could go hide
Getting caught in what?
in this big house they're living in. They found a mansion they broke into. So they're living in here till the couple comes back from their honeymoon.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So most honeymoons are like a week. This couple, they're so rich, they're going all the way around the world. So they've got months and months of honeymoon. So these rats are like, we'll just stay till they're back. Pretty clever. Oh, there was a caretaker gardener who came 3 times a week. And once in a while, he would check the house in a cursory sort of way. That is, he would unlock the front door, glance around to see that everything looked all right, and then lock it and leave. But he didn't live there. He lived in a small house down the road. And we were expecting him when he came. We had figured out from the way the place was kept up, the lawns mowed, the leaves raked, gardens weeded and watered, that there had to be somebody working on it. So we posted a watch, saw him coming, and kept watching him all the time he was there. And we made sure when he looked in the house that everything did look all right. This involved a certain amount of work. We had to haul all our empty tin cans and other trash that night out into a hidden place in the woods, quite far from the house. We cleaned up after ourselves carefully. We learned how to use the water taps and the dusting cloths we found in the kitchen closet. If the caretaker had looked more closely, in fact, he would have seen that the kitchen counters were somewhat shinier than they should have been in an empty house, but he didn't. He never even noticed the small corner of glass missing from the back window. And all winter, far into the night, we read books and we practiced writing. And that is where we have to stop today. Tomorrow, I will post a longer portion. In our meeting tomorrow, we're not going to be reading together. We'll do something else. What's up, Kevin?
Once that they figure out that all their food is gone, they're gonna be mad.
Yes, they are. But do you think they're going to figure out rats stole it? That would never be on my. No, I would not assume a
They're
rat.
gonna blame the other person that was
Yeah, the
in their
housekeeper.
house.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That poor guy. All right. Any other comments, predictions, questions, Lauren?
Tomorrow for our meeting, can we draw? Can we do a drawing tomorrow?
We will probably do some review, and then at the end, maybe we can do a quick. So bring your whiteboards tomorrow, and we will try to get a drawing.
Okay.
Hudson, what's up?
Also the math assignment that you gave us, it was really small.
Yeah, that's a worksheet we would have done in class. So do your best on it. If I can find another copy, I'll send it to you so you can zoom in more. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to try to look after the meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Angie, do you have a question?
Or
No.
No? Okay. Your hand thing was raised. I couldn't tell. All right.
Bye, Miss Chair.
Thanks for coming, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. See you later. Do your best work, okay? We're doing a lot of review this.
Hi.
Miss you all. Be safe.
Oh, Miss Hare, did you like the present I gave you?
Bye, Aiden.
oh, bye.
Miss Sage, did you like the present I
I
gave you?
loved it, Sage. It sat on my mantle. So
Aw.
everyone that came over said, "Who made that pretty card?" And I said, "Sage."
Aw.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Sage. Hey, guys. See you later.